Hello, I'm Julie Swenson, Managing Director of Forward Theater Company in Madison, Wisconsin.
And I'm Mike Fisher, Milwaukee based theater writer and dramaturg.
And I'm Jen Uphoff-Gray, founder and artistic director of Forward Theater Company. And this is Theater Forward, a monthly conversation about theater from a local, regional, and national perspective. From Madison to Manhattan, we're excited to share insights into our own company while exploring issues surrounding theater in the Midwest and around the country. Welcome to episode 121 of Theater Forward.
Great to be here.
In this episode, we are going to revisit one of our favorite annual themes, which is talking about the season up ahead of us, both the summer season that is getting started, as well as the 25-26 fall spring seasons that have been announced, and talk about some things we're especially looking forward to. As per usual, I think we'll probably have a higher preponderance of things we're shouting out here in Wisconsin and around the Midwest, since that is our home turf. And I'm just really excited to hear about what you guys are looking forward to. Julie, do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, looking at our peers here in Wisconsin, I realized that Laura Gordon has an incredible season coming up because two of the things I am most excited about are being directed by her. One of them is at Renaissance Theater Works, Switzerland, by Joanna Murray Smith. My history with Joanna Murray Smith was an honor that Laura was in, directed by Marie Kohler. Tables switch um, for Boswell at Next Act later on in the season, where Laura is directing a play written by Marie that has had a couple of iterations. Boswell was originally Boswell's Dreams. It's James Boswell and Samuel Johnson. Those the great Scottish um, writer and their history that has Boswell has gone through iterations, one of which went to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, came back, went to 59 East 59th Street, and now is here back in Milwaukee at Next Act Theater. So very excited for both of those
I have
shows.
to jump right in because something on my list is also a Laura Gordon.
There, it's
Uh,
Laura Gordon themed.
It's Laura Gordon season. Also at Next Act, but this is her performing in a play called Dinner with the Duchess, which is going to be directed by the incredible Samantha Martinson, who has worked with us here at Forward and is now the festival producer for World Premiere Wisconsin 2.0. Samantha is incredible. Laura is incredible. So I can't wait to see what those two cook up together.
Indeed.
And sticking with the Next Act theme, I mean, Cody Estel, as the Next Act artistic director, has again in his season next year hit it out of the park. I mean, Next Act has just been a thrilling, exciting place for theater since he came into town. I'm coming fresh off of just an amazing performance. It was my third production of this, of Annie Baker's Circle Mirror Transformation at Next Act, which I saw this week. With a terrific cast, including Forward's own Elise Edelman in one of the pivotal roles, a role that's very different from what those of you who have seen Elise perform may be accustomed to seeing from her. I strongly encourage you. Actually, you won't be able to see this because by the time this drops, it'll be over. Too bad, those of you that
Yep.
missed it. But next season, and I know I've mentioned this once already, but it's worth a second shout out. The first show in Next Act season, directed by another Forward person, or Forward alum anyway, Jake Penner, is Sanctuary City. A terrific play by Martina Mayok. As I mentioned when we announced our season, you can take this as your opportunity to begin a little mini Martina Mayok festival, since Forward itself will be performing or producing her play Ironbound in January of 2026, something I'm also really looking forward to, even though I'm kind of cheating by mentioning one of our own on this podcast. But there you go. I did it.
I love that. One of the first things that I'm looking forward to seeing in this next, 9 months or so that is on my list is a play that, to be perfectly honest, I don't feel especially drawn to go and see again, but under these conditions and with these artists, I'm really excited about. And that is A Midsummer Night's Dream, which is being remounted at American Players Theater this summer. And there are a number of reasons this one particularly excites me. First of all, the amazing David Daniel, who I adore, is going to be directing it. You'll get to see him on our stage in Lady Disdain in the spring, but he is just a phenomenal and warm and accessible and brilliant artist. Many artists, actors who I love are going to be in the cast, and they're doing a very cool thing with a double cast Puck with the amazing uh, Joshua Castile, who is a deaf artist and uses American Sign Language. Sharing the role with Casey Huckstra, an amazing actor we have worked with here, and so I'm really excited to see how that double casting of that role is going to play out. And in Dee Dee's capable hands, I feel really confident I'm going to love it.
Agree. I enjoyed, so Josh Castile is our director of ASL that we use, for our ASL interpretations, and he came to see Murder Girl and was speaking. Casey Huckstra has done his homework and, was, speaking in ASL, and, that will be really fun to see the 2 of them.
Yeah, Casey, again, to sort of move backward before moving forward, what he did in translations, which is a difficult play to do well in a recent production at Writers, was just it was gobsmackingly good, even from somebody who we are used to seeing do the kinds of things that he does. I'll stick with the theme. I mean, even though I'm also going to highlight a Shakespeare play, and even though APT is in many ways really not a Shakespeare company anymore, they're doing one of my favorite Shakespeare plays, one of three productions of this play I'll be seeing or have already seen this year, and that's The Winter's Tale, which is also being done at Stratford this summer. And what's special to me about this one, well, there's many things, but in three of the key roles, the two kings are going to be played by Nate Berger and LaShawn Banks. Laura Rook is going to be playing Hermione in that production. Marcus Trzynski, in a classic piece of typecasting, is going to be Autolycus, the clown and trickster. It's a play about redemption. To me, and yes, I'm including The Tempest in this, of the four late romances, it's the best. It's the one that thinks hardest about how to overcome a sort of toxic, almost Othello-like first half, and to move to something which is absolutely gorgeous. Sorry for the spoiler alert. If for some reason you've been under a rock and don't know Winter's Tale, but at the end of this play, Hermione, who has been thought dead, comes back to life in a scene that, no matter how many times I've seen The Winter's Tale, and it's over 2 dozen now, I regularly cry, even in bad productions. And this will not be a bad production, especially since it's being directed by Shayna Cooper, who is amazing. If any of you who saw the 5-person Taming of the Shrew at American Players Theater a few years ago, she was the person that directed that. I've seen her. Julius Caesar at Oregon Shakes in 2017 is the best production of that chestnut that I've ever seen. She's incredible. And so that is one, even if you think Shakespeare's not for you, even if you think the romances are just too weird to be for you, please, by all means, circle that and put it on your calendar. It's going to be a treat.
Can I jump in on APT too? That is not Shakespeare at all. It is a play written by Gavin Lawrence called Chuck Brown is Dead. And we went through, had a lot of good conversations in the office yesterday it's about go-go music originated in 1974 by Chuck Brown in Washington, D.C. So it's a certain specific style of music that I think the people of DC and Maryland and Virginia, the DMV, they know about this, and I'm excited for at least um, southeastern Wisconsin to know about it a little bit more too. Very excited about that play.
Indeed. Always excited to see a new play written by an artist from around here. And
Mhm.
I might actually use that to segue over to back to Milwaukee. There are a variety of things that I'm really excited to see at Milwaukee Rep this coming season. A couple of them, again, written by Wisconsin playwrights. They're going to be doing a co-pro of Mrs. Christie by Heidi Armbruster, who wrote our Murder Girl this past season. Very much looking forward to seeing that. Their world premiere Wisconsin contribution at Milwaukee Rep is going to be George and Gracie, A Love Story by our beloved Jim Pickering and Tammy Workentine. So hooray. Also, that's directed by Laura Braza, one of our world premiere Wisconsin board members. I'm also hoping to get over to the Rep in January to see their production of the Lehman trilogy, which is
Mhm.
a script I'm really interested in. It's complicated. It's a complicated story. It's a complicated adaptation of it, but an opportunity for some real tour de force performances. And so I'm really hoping I can get over there to see that one.
I'll segue from that, sticking with both Milwaukee Rep and Wisconsin writers. I'm really excited for the Milwaukee Rep's upcoming production of McNeil by Brookfield native Ayad Akhtar.
Mm.
It's a play in which a very successful novelist runs up against AI, and you know that that is not going to go well. And while we're on the topic of one of my favorite topics, those of you who have listened for a long time know, which is technology versus reality. Um, I have not seen this one yet, but I'm hearing good things about it. If you're listening to this through June 1st, at Goodman is a play by an old forward fave, Jordan Harrison,
Mm.
whose plays Marjorie Prime and The Amateurs we did. Marjorie Prime deals with similar themes to the one that's on stage there now called The Antiquities, which is also, as with Marjorie Prime, about what it means to even be human. In a world that seems to be increasingly controlled by our machines. And it's directed by the incomparable David Cromer, who was having quite a year this
Yeah.
year in New York. And it's nice to have him come home and direct here.
Yeah, Antiquity is definitely on my list as well. I love Mia Jordan Harrison script.
Uh, I'll go down, continue down to Chicago. Um, we have started a really lovely relationship with Northlight Theater. Uh, that they did Flying Lovers of Vitebsk after we did, and and we, that we are in conversation with them. I think they're in many ways a similar company, and one thing that they're doing that I find really interesting is First Lady of Television, based on one would think it's Lucille Ball, but oh no, it's Gertrude Berg, who was before her, as the Goldbergs, and a wonderful play about dealing with blacklisting, the McCarthy era, and trying to do television in light of a bad political situation. And that reverberates a little bit right this minute.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that. A couple other things in Chicago on my list that may require some road trips from Madison as well. This July, Chicago Shakes is going to have the premiere of Billie Jean by Lauren Gunderson, a little tennis play. And knowing Lauren, it's going to be a play about a whole heck of a lot more than tennis. So that is thrilling to have one of her premieres sort of in our backyard. Also excited about Mr. Wolf by Rajiv Joseph, which is coming to Steppenwolf. I love his writing. I've loved many of his plays. Certainly, we're grateful to be able to produce King James this past season, and this one has a really fascinating plot that intrigues me, and that's going to be coming early this fall. So, really exciting things happening down there.
All right, I'll take the bait. As somebody who, and because of my involvement in the Jeff committee, sees a couple hundred shows in Chicago a year. I've got so many shows next year, and
I
I
bet.
will restrain myself just to mention a couple, which is not meant as an invidious comparison to all the others that I'm also excited about seeing. There's only so much time,
Yeah.
even if we don't sleep till we're dead. But among those at Steppenwolf that I'm really looking forward to is one that actually opens this summer on June 5th. It's Noah Diaz's You Will Get Sick, which is a hilarious but also searing indictment of the American healthcare system. And then while I tried to front load this, I could not resist a Steppenwolf play that's going to be opening next April, which is Terrell Alvin McCraney's world premiere, Windfall. This is the guy that won the Oscar for Moonlight. You may have heard of him. The brother sister plays. He's been around. This is a play about somebody a black person who has lost a loved one in a police shooting. And the question is, do you take the settlement money from the city and leave and start a new life somewhere else? Or do you try and sort of say, no, I'm going to stay here and I'm going to continue to be a part of the community that I've always been a part of, and I'm going to fight. So who knows what that will look like when it's done? But he's a fantastic writer. And then finally, to sort of keep alive the Shakespeare ball, which has almost fallen to the ground here, but I can't resist. Dana Taub is her incredibly joyous. Those of you who may have seen it streaming during the pandemic from the Public Theater in New York, her musicalization of As You Like It is just an absolute joy. If you jammed on either at Chicago Shakes or Milwaukee Rep, the As You Like It that came down from Canada a few years ago, this is the same idea and the same sort of just unmitigated joy. It reminds us, those of us who even have a remote love for Shakespeare, of why he is the greatest writer on the planet of all time. And that is coming to Writers Theater in October.
That's awesome. There's another play coming to the Goodman that I'm very curious about. It's not a script that I've read, but it really intrigues me. It's Ashland Avenue by Lee Kirk. A really great casting of Francis Queenan, who's a frequent, star of the Chicago stage. Also Jenna Fisher, who's best known as Pam from The Office. But it says this stunning new play asks what happens when we stop looking after our aging parents and start looking after ourselves. And for all of us in a sandwich generation, that feels very, very resonant. And I'm very curious to see that one.
I will say I saw Goodman every December stages a New Stages Reading Festival. And I saw this at that festival. And those who were there with me, we all walked out and said, gee, where in the Goodman anniversary season next year is this going to be slotted? Because
Hmm.
it is really, really good, and raises
Great.
all kinds of interesting themes about, what do you hold on to and what do you let go
Hmm.
as age. And it really covers in that sense all three of the generations in play in the piece. In some ways, a very sort of old fashioned in the best sense. Naturalistic drama, but also raising questions that are as poignant and timely as ever. So yeah, I will co-sign that 100%.
Yeah.
Love it.
I always think, and I think of this all the time when, when we do our season announcement and I look at all of the wonderful offerings in the Midwest and beyond. Um, you have to believe and be optimistic about a future in which this is supported. And it just makes me happy to see how many really great things are going to be supported and produced and taking a leap at a future that allows this. It's exciting.
I don't want to miss the chance to celebrate all of the work that's going to be happening up in Door County this summer. I will be honest, I looked at all of their seasons and I wasn't like, oh, and this is the one thing I want to celebrate and call out. There's exciting and wonderful shows coming at all of those companies. We're talking about Third Avenue Playworks, Peninsula Players, Northern Sky Theater, Door Shakespeare. These are all companies doing lovely work with wonderful artists in beautiful bucolic settings for the most part. So um I just look forward to seeing theater in Door County this summer.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can speak directly to two of the shows up there this summer that I'm really looking forward to, and indirectly to a third. I have seen the amazing Gail Child's Daily adaptation of Great Expectations, which was
Mm.
both done in a Molly Rhodey production featuring Josh Krause at Milwaukee Chamber. And I had seen it before that at a company called, I think it was at Straw Dog Theater in Chicago. It was the first time I saw it. It's really good, as is Dear Jack, Dear Louise, a play being done by Peninsula Players this summer, a lovely two-hander where, once again, speaking of Casey Hawkstra, I saw him perform the male role in this at Northlight a couple of years ago, and it's a true story of Ken Ludwig's, I think, grandparents and how they met, and then during World War II, when the man was overseas, developed a relationship that ended up being, well, we'll have to see what it ended up being, and then really a world premiere at the always amazing Northern Sky, which does a world premiere, at least one every year, by Matt Zimbrowski. Any of you that have seen Dad Seasons tickets, and like I could care less about the Packers. I mean, I'm from Detroit. I need say no more. But it's a play about the pathological love for a team that develops, particularly in Packer country. Any of you who are sports fans, and even those like my wife who could care less about football, thought it was a charming, wonderful show. He has a new show called Something in the Water, which is being billed by Northern Sky as a vaudevillian murder mystery, in which nobody ends up, bad things won't happen. This is a show you can bring the kids to, but it sounds like a lot of fun, sort of like it's set at the Grand Waukesha Springs Resort on its last legs and needing redemption, a little bit like The Shining, sort of the young people version.
Well, we do have, I mean, new plays. I know that we're sort of front loading our choices right now, but 2026 is the next round of World Premiere Wisconsin, and instead of a kind of truncated 4 months, we're doing the entire calendar year. So a lot of these shows that we're talking about fall into that season of World Premiere Wisconsin, and while not everybody has told us what their World Premiere Wisconsin entry will be. I mean, we had 49 new plays during that 4 month period in the last World Premiere Wisconsin, and boy, I'm looking forward to seeing what we come up with this time.
I was pleased to see a few days ago Milwaukee Chamber Theater announcing their upcoming season. I was a little worried we wouldn't know what they were planning before we did this episode. But on a personal level, I am really excited about the return of Jack Forbes Wilson to a Milwaukee
Hmm.
stage. He's going to be performing along with Brent Ryback in Old Wicked Songs, directed by Elise Edelman, who, like Laura Gordon, is going to be having a very busy season. Um, I just adore Jack. He was one of the co-founders of Forward Theater, and he's been out of state for a number of years, and I am thrilled that he's coming back to a Wisconsin stage. So I will be at Chamber with Bells on in September to see that.
I mean, at the
Great.
risk of embarrassing him if he ever listens to this, Jack Forbes Wilson is one of the few people in my life that I genuinely believe deserves the label genius that I have actually met and know.
Mm.
He is an amazing and gifted artist. That is great news, as is the return of another amazing Wisconsin based creative, actually Milwaukee based as well. The 25th anniversary next year of Fireside Grill is, or 25th anniversary of Spitfire Grill uh, is coming to Skylight Music Theater. And James Falk, who created this lovely, beautiful thing, or one of the creators of it, is bringing that to Skylight in the spring. I will be directing it. So I think that's kind of special. And since we're talking about Elise, one of the really intriguing and brave plays in Renaissance this season next year is Hansel Young's Cardboard Piano. It's set in Uganda, involving a relationship between a local girl and the daughter of an American missionary. Given that it's set in Uganda, that's not going to go well. And that's as much as I want to say about what is one of our most exciting uh, younger playwrights writing today, and an opportunity for us to see her work here in Wisconsin.
Mike, did you see that show at the Humana Festival?
I did not. So
Yeah,
yeah, did you?
I have seen that at the Humana
Yeah.
Festival, and it has been on a list for a long time. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous play.
Well, we have been able to cram a lot of recommendations
We
already into this
have.
conversation. So we probably are going to start to wind down. Anything on your lists that you haven't had a chance to hit yet?
I
Oh,
say
of
just go see
course.
theater.
Yeah,
All right,
Yes,
Mike,
go.
give us
theater.
something to take us out.
Yes.
I haven't really, yeah, and this is sort of Midwestern, although it's a 10-hour drive, but I haven't paid proper homage except to mention that they're doing the Winter's Tale to Stratford's festival,
I
which
was
is
waiting for
already
your Stratford
Annie's
recommendation.
already
I've been
on
waiting this
stage.
whole
Uh,
time. All right, great.
so there's a
Go.
couple that I'm really looking forward to there. It's one of three Macbeths at major festivals you can see in this festivals or theaters you can see in this next year. Utah Shakespeare is doing it, and yes, I said Macbeth, not the Scottish play.
You're not in a theater, so we'll
We're
allow it.
okay. Guthrie Theater's doing it next winter, but the one I'm super, super most excited about is Robert Lepage, who is just a creative genius, is doing it at Stratford this summer. And Stratford's also doing a play by Aaron Shields, who has done amazing rewrites of things like Paradise Lost. That's the one that sticks in my mind, called Ransacking Troy. Here's all you need to know about that. It's a rewrite of the ending in which the women decide that this waiting around for a bunch of guys that are just fighting over nothing all the time is a waste of time, and they are going to take matters into their own hands. It will be very historically and textually grounded. Her work always is, but with a super creative, redemptive ending. And redemption is sort of a theme, I think, of a lot of what we're talking about with a lot of these plays are promising a new day and a new beginning.
I have
Mhm.
to just toss in because you did bring up the Scottish play being at Utah Shakes, and our very own Cassie Bissell is playing Lady M in that production.
Yes.
So that is something to recommend. That production if you're going west, or if you're in the west as you listen to this.
After which you can come east to watch her in the feature role in our Ironbound
Yeah, that's
at
right.
Forward next year,
That's
a part that was written for her amazing talent. I mean, she's
Yeah.
perfect for this role. I can hardly wait to see it.
Yeah. So Wisconsin art, both in Wisconsin and around the country, uh, which
Well
is pretty
played,
delightful.
Jen Gray.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nice segue,
exactly.
Jen. Here we
Exactly.
go.
And, as is always the case with this particular episode, this just scratches the surface of the wonderful theater that's coming up in the summer and season ahead. And we hope to see as much as we possibly can, and we hope you will as well. Theaters everywhere would be delighted to sell you a ticket and have you in their houses. So we will say that that is all for this episode of Theater Forward, a conversation about theater in Wisconsin, the Midwest, and America. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jen Uphoff Gray.
And I'm Julie Swenson.
I'm Mike Fisher. Our podcast is produced as always by Scott Hayden, and you can follow us or share your thoughts on Facebook at Theater Forward. Theater, as always, even at many of the theaters that we've mentioned today, spelled properly with an ER.
And if you enjoy this podcast, don't forget to subscribe to us wherever you get your podcast, and be sure to leave a comment. We would love to hear from you.
We're so grateful to have you listening, and we will be back soon for another Theater Forward conversation.